Debbie here with Tailored by Debbie, and today I'm going to show you a crafting hack so you can take advantage of this little method that I've come up with. How many times have you bought a sign on clearance that wasn't really your style and you wanted to remake it in something that is your style? Well, you could sand this down and repaint it, but I'm going to show you something that's even faster than that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the wood sign that you bought, and you want to take some sandpaper, and I used a coarse sandpaper, 60 grit, and you just want to sand it until you don't feel the raised letters anymore or the paint that was on the sign, okay? And then you're going to brush off any extra dust. You want to make sure you get all of the sawdust off of it to where it's nice and smooth, okay? And then you're going to pick up something that's called heat transfer vinyl. And, excuse me, heat transfer vinyl is an iron-on vinyl, and you can pick this up just about anywhere. Hobby Lobby, Walmart has it. Any other craft store, I know Michael's and Joann's carry it, I believe. So you're going to take a piece of the heat transfer vinyl, and it has two different sides. It has a shiny side and then a side that's not quite as shiny. And you're going to cut it out just a little bit bigger than the top that you want to cover. Now, I want to leave the sides white, but I'm going to cover this with this green, okay? So all you want to do is you want to take this and flip it over, shiny sides up. You want to flip it over, and you can buy these weeding tools at, you can even buy these at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. And you want to take the corner of it, and you want to pick up just the thin coat of vinyl and leave the plastic transfer sticky paper off, okay? So you're just going to pull that off, and take note of which side you have down, okay? Because that's the side you're going to want up when you're ironing it onto your wood. So we're going to pull this off, and essentially we're just going to turn it, we're going to leave it like it is, because this is the side that we will want up when we're ironing it on to our wood. So you're just going to take your piece of vinyl, lay it down on top of the wood, and it's overlapping a little on each side. You don't have to worry about that because we're going to do something to get that off in a little bit. And I have my iron on dry, as high as it'll go. And I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper and put that over the top, and then we're going to iron it on. You want to lay the iron down to kind of anchor the vinyl onto the wood, and then you can start moving it around. But you want to anchor it down first so the vinyl won't slide out from under what you're doing, okay? So just iron that on in each section for about 10 good seconds. Just move it back and forth. Okay. And y'all, they make patterned vinyl, which is really pretty. And you can heat transfer vinyl and put different patterns. So you can even get a neat looking patterned background by doing this. Okay, now all we want to do is let it cool. And I got a little area right here that I want to try to smooth out just a little bit. Make sure you always use your parchment paper between your vinyl and your iron, because if you don't, it's going to stick to your iron. Okay, so we're just going to, now we're going to wait for it to cool. And once it's cool, and I'll tell you, I want to get these edges next. You just kind of tilt the iron down and iron the edges really well and the corners. Okay, make sure again that you got your parchment paper on there. Don't touch your iron down to the part. I've got it kind of angled where it's not touching the part that I don't have covered with my parchment paper. Real important, guys, because it'll ruin your iron. Okay, and if you want to be double sure, just keep it covering the whole thing the whole time. And that way you can kind of scoot around and get all those edges. Okay, now we're going to let it cool. And while it's cooling, just going to look at it. And oh, y'all, that is such a nice finish on here. Okay, I'm going to take my sandpaper. It's not completely cool, but I think we can go ahead and just sand. Actually, we can cut with the scissors first, and then we'll have less to sand. Just cut some of this excess off the edges, like so. Okay. Just go around and cut off some of that excess. You don't have to get it all. You really don't have to do this. You could just sand it off. But I'm waiting for it to cool, so I wanted to show you can do this. Okay. Just get rid of that. Okay, now we're going to take the sandpaper and come over here to the edge. And we're just going to sand, and that's going to come right off. See that? Just keep going around on the sides. Be careful not to sand your top surface. Just kind of sand it at an angle so that you're only taking off the sides. Okay. But look at that, y'all. We have covered this piece of wood with a piece of vinyl, and it's dry and usable much faster than what you could paint it. See that? Whoa. And then we'll come right here, sand this final side. It's kind of got rounded corners, so we're going to take that into consideration when we're sanding. And I don't want to sand the sides of my sign, so I'm holding it kind of at an angle. So I'm just sanding that off, and now I'm going to take a sanding block and just, with a little bit finer grit, and just get a more finished edge on that vinyl. But guys, doesn't that look pretty? And now you can use this to decorate it for a Christmas craft. I hope you give this a try. Stay tuned, because I'm going to show you how I decorate this in an upcoming video. Thank you so much for watching.